What are the steps that people need to take after an auto accident? The first thing to do, of course, is to check for injuries. Get to a safe space so that it prevents from causing further injury or another accident happening. The third step is to call 911. In an insurance claim, they're going to ask for documentation, and what better documentation from police? And after you call 911, you'll want to make sure to exchange information with the drivers. Do not admit fault to the other driver. Do not admit fault to the police. Do not admit fault to anybody. Your job is to accurately report the events that happened leading up to the accident. The job of the police, and that's the job of the insurance adjusters, to determine who was at fault for that accident based on the facts that are presented. The next thing to do is to document as much as you can. Take pictures of the vehicle if it's safe to do so. Take pictures of injuries if there are any that are visible. As you're going through this process, if you believe the other party is at fault, do not file the claim through your insurance company. The reason for that is because when you file claims on your insurance policy, even though it's a not at fault accident, your policy could be rated for having that accident on the policy. If not rated, they have a way of re-tiering policies and removing discounts such as accident-free discounts. If the other party's at fault, try to file that claim through the other party's insurance company. And then if the other party's playing games, they're not taking responsibility, they're not paying for what they're supposed to be paying for, then at that point you can involve your insurance company and file the claim through your policy, and they will subrogate, which that means that they'll go after the other party to get reimbursed for what they paid for that they shouldn't be responsible for paying for. Dan, is there anything that I missed, especially from the legal aspect?
Well, first of all, you did a great job outlining the steps. Documentation is king. When we present a claim to the insurance company, once again, they're not going to provide compensation for anything that isn't documented in their file. I think that's reasonable. So documentation is king. And when Jonathan, when you mentioned taking pictures, I would include any items that have been destroyed in the accidents. I've had clients that have had laptops destroyed, iPhones, eyeglasses, their clothes, because when the paramedics show up, they cut their clothes off. And many times those are expensive clothes that clients get really antsy about wanting compensation for. So take pictures of anything that was destroyed in the accident, because if we show up to the insurance adjuster and say, you know what, she had a 5-carat diamond and it was just destroyed in the accident, you know, they're going to need that justified. With respect to the police, I can't endorse what Jonathan said enough about calling the police, having them come make a report. Even if it's a simple accident, you need to have that documented, because the person in the heat of the moment, the defendant, will say things in the heat of the moment that they won't say later when they're more calm. And so if an officer is there with his notepad taking down what the person says, then that is very valuable documentation that we can then use to the insurance company. Recent explanation was, I got a text message on my phone and I glanced to look at the text, and that's when the collision occurred. Well, you won't have that either if the police officer is there asking the questions and writing it down. So these things are really, really important by way of documenting what happened. And when you get to make the claim, documentation is king.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can check out our upcoming videos.